You can see there's like bubbling mud going on below there. So I'm here today with a couple of people that I'm not usually with. It is Charla and Candy here, who's visiting from the States, and I'm taking them around to a few places in Hachimantai. They were the high-end apartment buildings for people working in the sulfur mine that was right around here. Closed in 1969, but I know people were living in them as late as 1971 because someone I know went in there once and found a newspaper from 1971. You're not allowed to go in there, of course. Sulfur, however, became much cheaper as a byproduct of processing oil around the late 60s, and so they closed the mine and went back to nature. And one of the things I really like about these mines is how you can see there's trees growing out of the windows. There's rotten tatami mats in there, which are basically turning into soil, and I guess the wind blows the seeds in there, and nature retakes everything. So it's sort of a fast forward into after the climate apocalypse when everything has gone back to nature, so you can visualize what it'll be after we're all gone. There is a dark legacy of this in terms of the environmental damage caused by the sulfur. Sulfur mining turned the local river that goes straight through Morioka, the Kitakami River, dark brown and red. There's a water cleaning facility right down here which actually is costing the city to continue cleaning the water. Otherwise the river would turn red and stinky again. So it's a legacy of environmental desolation and destruction. But it's beautiful. So we are here now on the summit of Mount Hachimantai.
Yeah, never been here. I've been to Hachimantai to see the lava grounds, but I've never been up this high. The views are ridiculous.
And when you come up here, most people would go the other side, which is where there's what they call the nature observation walk. But we're going towards Mokodake in the opposite direction, which should have much less traffic and be a little more challenging for them. We got to give them a little challenge.
Pretty busy today. Finland was saying this is the best weekend to come up here for the fall leaves, so quite a few other people up here hiking today.
Yeah, this is most crowded I've seen it all year, basically. Yeah. This should be fine, but if you ever do Mount Iwate, you really need hiking boots, because if you wear normal tennis shoes, they will be shredded by the end of the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, going up all the rocks and the gravel, it just really shreds your shoes. Nice. This is my first time going up Mokodake from the summit of Hachimantai, except during the winter time. And despite it being my first time, I'm taking other people up here as if I know it. It's a beautiful trail. It actually looks really nice this time of year as well. And it's way less crowded than the normal Hachiman-numa pond area. I recommend this pleasant little hike. It's just 1 kilometer from the trailhead to the summit, so it's a pretty quick little jump. But we'll see what sort of views wait for us at the top. So you've made it to the summit at Mount Mokodake, 1,578 meters. How do you feel?
The view is great. A little tired.
It got very steep at the end, but it was worth it.
It was pretty easy up until the end, and then it was all of a sudden like ran out of breath a little bit there, but it's fine now, and the views are amazing.
Those views. So now we're on our way back down the mountain and on to our next destination, which will be the volcanic area behind Goshogake Hot Springs, which is actually one of my favorite places. I think it's really neat. I hope they like it as well. We park in the free parking lot that's sort of on the Iwate side of the mountaintop rest house above Hachimantai, which means we actually walked a good kilometer down the road to even get to the trailhead here. And to save them that road walk back, I'm gonna go ahead down and bring the car to pick them up. Would you ever be interested in doing Mount Iwate, do you think?
Oh, definitely. It's next on my list.
All right, so maybe next June you don't mind if it's a 8-hour, 9-hour hike, you can do that?
Let's do it. I've done Fuji twice.
You've done Fuji.
Mount Iwate. I'm up for it.
Excellent. All right, I'll remember I've got you on film saying that. The next destination on today's little exploration of Hachimantai is Goshogake Onsen. No, we're not going to take a bath today, but you can see there's like bubbling mud going on below there. But we're going to go to the volcanic hell area behind the onsen, which I think is just as exciting, if not more. Look at that. This is just the beginning. This is perfect. Hi. There's a couple of geysers here that are called Mistress Geyser and Wife Geyser. And this has to do with the history of the onsen. Apparently, there was a man herding cattle and he fell very ill. And then a young woman came and took care of him and nursed him back to health, and he fell in love with her and started living with her right in this area. Now, he wasn't single. He already had a wife and a daughter in Kuji, and that they heard that he was still alive and came looking for him. And now his new young mistress saw that he already had a wife and child and felt terrible. She didn't know that. She took him for a single guy, and the scumbag didn't even mention that he already had a wife and child, apparently. Well, his young mistress, being really kind, apparently, and I don't know, she threw herself into a geyser, which then became named Mistress Geyser, to kill herself, wishing for a better life, it is said, and that he might have a better life without her. Now, the wife was apparently also misguided. I don't know, she also then felt terrible, and as a result of witnessing this suicide, she then threw herself into the other one, which came to be known as Wife Geyser, and apparently the husband and the child lived sadly ever after. We don't know what happened there. But the name Goshogake Onsen apparently means seeking a better life, and that's why they both threw themselves into boiling geysers. Let's not follow that example. I think there's other ways to seek better lives. Now, this is the peak weekend, and while it's crowded, it's not ridiculously crowded.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, if this was within driving distance of Tokyo, this would be just packed. It'd be like Disneyland here.
Definitely.
So lucky to be up here in Iwate. Is called Oyunuma, and this part of the area behind Goshogake Onsen is my favorite. The water level is actually low now compared to normal, but it's still neat. Look at these mud volcanoes. There's usually a really azure, deep blue color that you don't actually see normally in water, though it looks like today it's more just gray. There's not enough water, but this is just astounding. Some of those mud volcanoes out there are really perfectly shaped, right? Yeah, it's amazing to me that this isn't more famous, because this whole area is filled with this volcanic, bizarre hell landscape, as they call it. In Japan, anything volcanic gets called a hell. Hence, the place on Mount Iwate that I often climb up that has the sulfur geysers is called Oji Kokutani, or the Great Hell Valley. And then these have various names to the individual places. Dyer's Hell, Kobo's Hell, all these different hells. You can probably see right behind me there, that is Mokodake, where we just hiked earlier today. And now we're way down below it. It's getting late, and so we're just gonna head back now, but this was a fantastic day seeing
It really was.
ruins, little hike, volcanoes.
A little bit of everything.
For me, it makes it twice as much fun when I get to show somebody else and see reactions of other people.
I really
and
appreciate it.
yeah, so hopefully in the future I can show some other fun places to more people. And, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you on the trails.